I'm sorry. Could you say that a little louder? You are so dang quiet. I don't think I've ever heard you talk. I rack my brains as I sit here, trying to remember people's comments to me. Come to think about it, people around me can never hear what I was saying. Am I too quiet? I'm not sure what you said. What? You're talking in your throat, Cece. Probably. Do I mean to be? How annoying would it be to have to say everything twice or more, no matter how stupid it was? For example, oh my goodness, I accidentally just farted and woke myself up. Pardon? You darted before your roommate woke up? Could you say that a little louder? Okay, it's not like I don't talk that much. In fact, if you get to know me, there are times I could be like an obnoxious chatterbox who can't stop talking. As I think back to the good old days, the days before the silence, I used to be a busybody kid. In fact, I was one of the cutest preschooler you'd probably ever meet. My second year of preschool, yes, I went through two, but that's a story for another time. My class and I took a field trip to Papa John's to learn how to make pizza. So being the curious preschooler that I was, I stood in front, watching the slightly overweight, middle-aged Italian man making pizza, skillfully twirling, whirling the dough around in the air, elongating it further and further into the shape of pizza we all know and love. And eventually, Mr. Dough decided to throw the dough high up in the air and let it fly. And all I remember seeing was the dough soar into the air, and then, whoomph, all was a doughy darkness, and my world was gone. My first reaction afterwards was, I'm not sure if I'm going to want to eat that pizza anymore. And my second reaction, an instant upwelling of fat, childish tears. They barged into my eyes from my tear ducts as I fought bitterly against their incessant barrage against my eyelids. All the other kids and adults already knew me as a crybaby. I was not going to give them the satisfaction of seeing me like bawl my eyes out. But unfortunately, I was fighting a losing battle, and the tear just gushed forward like the great foot of God. So after a few comforting words, a few comforting pats on the head, I was put into the shameful recess of the back, watching the scene behind the safety of all the other kids and adults, just in case Mr. Doe decided to pitch a dough at me again. And when we got back to school and it was time for recess, all I could hear were their voices. I can't believe she cried. Actually, I can. 'Cause I heard she still sucks her thumb during nap time. I was surrounded by their exposing words, unveiling all my flaws and embarrassing characteristics, like childish, bitter, judgmental gods looking down at me from the heavenly peaks of the tops of the swing sets. She is a crybaby, they said. I kept my mouth shut. I was afraid of their retaliation, their hurtful words exposing more and more of my weaknesses. I was terrified into silence. The weeks and months and years after that instance were silent, silent, silent. I was no longer bouncing off the wall in my happy childhood state, asking for more crayons or screaming with all the other little kids or asking questions. I just sat there quietly, listening to everyone else. Cece, why don't you sit with us and tell us a funny story? I hesitated, my heart catching in my throat. Oh, how I wanted to go interact with them like a normal little kid and tell them about that time I bumped into a car door so badly that I have a permanent bump on my head. Cece, tell us a funny story. My heart, my voice just caught in my lungs, just waiting to burst forward. It's not like I don't have anything to say. In fact, I've grown, I've changed so much. I have a life between a food fiasco and now. I have a quite large reservoir of things that I could tell them about. Cece, why are you so quiet? Thoughts raced through my head as I stared at them. My hamster, my ukulele, my funny uncle that plays a rubber band as an instrument. I have words. I have sentences. I have entire paragraphs and epic stories and encounters that are just waiting to burst forward. I have so much to say. And in this moment, saturating my shirt with sticky sweat from the humidity, enunciating my words and pouring out my emotions, I feel like I'm finally telling somebody.